guys, we're here. Welcome back to the bench. It's been a while since we've done a normal video, so why the hell start now? In front of here, you can see my PO1. Now, this has been my trusty carry gun for, quite a while now. But if you look back at my review section, you can see the review of the sights that were on it, the TFX Pros, and how I was not a big fan. Now, the more time that went by, the less of a fan I became of those sights, until finally I couldn't stand it anymore and I had to change them up. Now, I don't have enough money right now for anything new or fancy, so I had to make do with something that I had. And that's where I got this idea. So, sitting on my PO1 currently is the PO1 stock rear. Now, I did leave these glowing buttons back here, which I should have just blacked the whole thing out, but that's where we are right now. And on the front, however, is the front sight to my SP01 Tactical. That's right, the big dot tritium-filled sight from my SP01 Tactical is now sitting on front of my PO1. I did the measurements before I put it on there and made sure that the overall dimensions of the front sight are identical to the dimensions of the original sight. The dot is slightly out of place, which is why I probably should have gone ahead and blacked out the back, because these two dots now don't mean crap. But the sight picture is great, and with that big white dot up front, I can actually catch these really quick. Now, you might ask yourself, why did you not have a video of this? Because it was supposed to be a quick little 5-minute project. Slide the old sights out, put the new sights in, wham bam, thank you ma'am. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen the aftermath of trying to get these sights out. If you look at my install video, you remember that I put Loctite in there. Now, I used blue Loctite. However, apparently that blue Loctite, even then, was a little too much for that tiny little fastener in there, because I could not get that thing out. I destroyed multiple Allen wrenches trying to get it out of there, and then I tried to heat it up to burn that thread locker off, and even that didn't work. I didn't heat up the sight directly. I used heat sinks. I got them warm, and then I pressed them up against the fastener to transfer that heat. Obviously, it got warm enough, because after I did that and let it cool back down, it had changed the structure of that set screw enough that the next time I tried to loosen it, it stripped the Allen key head out of the fastener itself. So at that point, I was pretty pissed. So what did I do? I took to drilling the damn thing out. That's right, I took a drill to my TFX Pros. After drilling out that set screw, measuring carefully along the way so that I didn't actually get my slide as well, I went ahead and I started trying to press it out. And that's when another disaster hit. My beautiful sight pusher broke. Now I know, this thing is made by NC Star, and it is not super expensive. It's like $45. And I love this thing. This is a great little sight pusher. Now, I will be making a follow-up on this soon, and you will see why. But until then, you're just going to have to hold off. But I broke my sight pusher. So, son of a bitch. What am I going to do? I was pressing it out, so what I ended up having to do was I had to run my sight block all the way over to this side and push it out using this side of my sight pusher, which worked great for the first eighth to a quarter of an inch. Then things went bad again. It started tweaking the slide because it was placing pressure in the wrong area. So again, I had to improvise. I had to make a little push block that I could put down beside the sight and utilize that to be able to put pressure in the correct spot to push the sight the rest of the way out of the way. And lo and behold, after 2 nights and a massive amount of cursing, I finally got that damn thing out. Now, I did have to modify these stock sights slightly. I had to recess the notch in the back here so that that big dot up front would now sit nice and seated down inside my rear notch. But with that modification, now these things are working perfect. So this is the way the PO1 is going to get carried for a while. I'm actually taking it to the range tomorrow to verify that everything is right. Now, where does that leave me, though? That leaves me with a pair of crapped up sights. So what am I going to do? Am I going to sit down and take it? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fix them. We'll see. So here's my thought. What we're going to do is we're going to drill out the old hole, rethread it, and toss a new set screw in. So that's where we're at. That's our plan. Follow with me. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this out to the press. We're going to drill this hole out a little bit. Now, to do that, I'm actually going to clamp it up in here because it's easier that way. Oh, I actually need these to be slightly shorter than they are so that I can see what's going on. So, let's open this back up, get it with a wide enough gap to be able to get our sight down in there. We've got to toss our sight down and try to get it at least mostly even. Now, the problem here is this top portion is not even with the bottom. So, I got to figure out a way to get this on there and keep that bottom even. All of this stuff, and I don't have something I can use. Let's try this. It's crude, but it might work. And this. Okay, there we go. So that is now even. Let's take this thing out and let's get it on the drill press. Okay, so 2 things on that. 1, it actually took me longer to set the camera up than it did to take me to drill out the hole. And 2, holy crap, it's cold out there. So let's go ahead and pull this thing out. Let's give it a clean up and see if we can get this thing threaded. So far, so good. Cleaned up probably 99% of the threads in there. I mean, it's good enough for what we're doing. Shouldn't take it out of the vise now that I'm thinking about it. It's okay. Actually, I wanted to flip it over anyway. I wanted to take the threads in through the bottom of it instead of the top. So let's get it back in the vise, upside down this time. Get it clamped down pretty sturdy. Let's go ahead and toss some oil on here. And let's thread this bad boy. Now this tap and drill set I actually got from Menards, and it is a paired set so that I knew that the drill bit size that I was getting was the proper size for the tap. I better go a little bit slower, take a little bit smaller chunks out with the size of this tap. This is not a big tap, it is an 822 tap, and I don't want to break it. I'm not sure what the original one was, but it looked slightly smaller than this, maybe number 6. Alright, I feel like we're pretty much through now. Yeah, it's through. Okay, run the tap all the way down, make sure everything is nice and clean, and pull it back up. And we now have a re-threaded, see if we can get it cleaned up a little bit. I'm gonna pop it off of here, take this through. That should have cleaned up any burrs that we had. Those threads look pretty nice, actually. Let's go ahead and toss some vise down out of the way for this. Now, I have not yet located a properly sized set screw. So this set screw is going to be long, but really I just wanted it for test of fit, and we got it. It is in there. I would say as soon as I get the right size set screw for this thing, yeah, as soon as I do that, these things are going on the market. They're getting sold. So that is it as far as the rework of our sights go. Alright guys, so that's it. That's all we're taking care of tonight. I'm still cleaning the bench up from a lot of mess. You guys should have seen this thing when I was done. There were tools everywhere from trying different things to get this thing out of there, and eventually it just ended up being brute force and a drill and a little bit of ingenuity. Not a whole lot, because that's not me. But we got it done. I'm really excited to get this thing out to the range tomorrow. I think I'm really going to be happy with this setup. Site acquisition seems a lot quicker than with the TFX Pros. That front sight on that TFX Pros, like if you take a look at those, as silly as it is, the white on the stock sight actually stands out more than this dull orange on the TFX Pro. So I'm really looking forward to this, guys. I'll get it out and I'll let you know what's going on, and I'll let you know exactly what I think of it. That's it for this time, guys. Remember, if you found the video useful, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. If you want to tell me how much of an idiot I am, you can do that too down there. Every once in a while, I make some pretty good screw-ups. And remember, I appreciate every one of you, and until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.